Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today, we are talking about Mercury Retrograde. And my intention for this video, we're going to do our all signs reading, is to offer the most accessible information for the highest and greatest good for all involved and invested, with no harm coming to any. The astrology for right now, what we're in, it's the 13th as I record this. Tomorrow's the full moon eclipse, and then Mercury goes retrograde the next day. We have another new moon eclipse. We have Neptune going into Aries. We have Lilith going into Scorpio. We're in the middle of a Venus retrograde. There's so many different components to what we're experiencing right now that it can be a little bit overwhelming. It can be a little bit of an information overload. We can thank Jupiter and Gemini for that. There's astrological validations as to why so there's astrological validations for the astrological validations, that there's so much happening astrologically and there's so much information, we're talking about Mercury, about the astrology. Jupiter, our expansive planet right now, is in the sign of Gemini of information. So there's components to this that say, okay, that's why this is happening. This is why I'm confused. That's why I'm overloaded. That's why I'm anxious. That's why I'm this. So there's astrological validations. We're also human beings. We're a consciousness running our human bodies, but we're also experiencing this energy. We're also feeling this energy. So it doesn't discredit that communities are shifting, relationships are breaking down, people are leaving their jobs or they're having to leave their jobs, people are moving or having to move. Things, whether we choose it or not, the universe is experiencing itself through us. God is experiencing itself through us. That's why, we're alive. That's why we're here. God got bored and so wanted to experience itself. So Big Bang, and here we all are. In a nutshell, but you know what I mean. So what I'm doing and what I'm recommending for my community, all of you, is that we just take it one day at a time, one step at a time, one lens at a time. Un giorno alla volta, miei cari, un giorno alla volta. So we speak in lenses around here. If you're new, welcome. My name is Sarah. I'm an astrologer. I'm a channeler. Whatever words you kind of want to use to say that my a coach, a lot of people call me a coach, that my consciousness came from a different time and space to help you make sense of what's going on right now. I'm here to help guide you and bring you into alignment, offer tools for you to do this yourself. Sometimes we just need a little bit of a hand to hold to say, oh, what on earth is happening? People keep saying all these things about this things, and people keep saying this about this, and this happens the last time, and I'm terrified about this, and I'm so, not around here. My purpose is to empower you, to offer you the astrology in a hopefully accessible manner so that you can say, okay, that's the energy of the out there. Do I want to participate in that? How do I want to utilize, harness, really co-create with this energy? How do I want to co-create with this energy? There's a few things. I knew that this introduction was going to be a little bit longer, so I might cut it as its own video. I'm not really sure just yet, but this Mercury retrograde, and I will list as many dates as possible below. This Mercury retrograde, it starts on the 15th of March and it goes to the 7th of April, 2025. It's bookended. It's inside the Venus retrograde. This is Venus and this is Mercury. I'll introduce all the planets before we start. So right now we have Venus retrograde. Venus began its retrograde on the 1st of March. Venus is going to go direct on the 12th of April. So the entirety of this Mercury retrograde is encompassed within a Venus retrograde. Does that make sense? So I have much information for you, a lot of information for you about tracking Venus, her retrograde, all of the aspects and the conjunctions and all the different things that Venus in and of herself is making. But what I find fascinating is that the entire Mercury retrograde is inside the dates of the Venus retrograde, but also inside her path. So what do we know about retrogrades? We get that windshield wiper. So Venus went direct, she turned around here, went retrograde, and then she's going to turn around again, and then she's going to go direct again. So this area of your chart, this is the general wheel, starts in Aries, goes all the way to Pisces. On the general wheel, this is our rising sign, our self, the storefront view of our life, goes in, retrogrades back into our house of soul purpose, healing, closures, and coming home. It's kind of like the beginning and end of all things. In your natal chart, your rising sign, this is like your own personal New Year's, when the sun transits over this. And so really within the entirety of this, we also have the Aries equinox, the new year. This is a very potent, powerful time. So we have, right now, we're in a Mercury retrograde. We're in a Venus retrograde. What we're talking about today is the Mercury retrograde, which is inside this, which I personally find so fascinating, because it really just says to me, like, when it comes to Venus and her retrograde, and again, you got hours of Sarah just on that alone. We're taking the love that we normally give to others and we're bringing it inward. When we have a retrograde, it's whatever actions we take in the external, we bring them internal. So this is a perfect time for self-care, self-love. And again, a lot of relationships are ending right now because people are just taking paths. It's not I'm walking away from you. It's I'm walking towards my highest timeline. You're walking towards your highest timeline. And the path that we were walking together, now there's a fork in the road, and we're just with love gently separating. Because a lot of the times the universe cannot bless you with what it is that you're meant to do if you're surrounded by people that you're not supposed to be surrounded by. Truly. There's a thought leader, his name's Marco J. Williams. It was last year or a year before, he had a download that I really loved, that community is currency, or community is the new currency. And I really loved that. It was funny, I'm not on TikTok, he is, and he was like, the video got taken down or something like that. Because it really is. Your nervous system is affected by the people around you. The show me your friends and I'll show you your future. The people that, and I say this a lot, it can be that choose the people that you allow to judge you. Choose the people, especially if you are an influencer, a content creator, an entrepreneur, a spiritual business owner, a spiritual entrepreneur, whatever labels you put on a coach, whatever it may be, a human being, a mom, a dad, whatever it is. Decide the people that you allow to judge you. Decide, because if you let every person, it's like the man in the arena speech, like if you let anybody who's like up in the stands be like, oh, I could do that better. Oh, do this. And it's like, if you're not in your own arena, I can't even entertain that thought. I can't even entertain your critique, because I love this phrase that someone that's doing better than you is never going to judge you for shooting your shot and trying your best. So that's not what I expected to come through. I was very excited to see what the guides and what Spirit and God and Source has to say about this transit. I'm just listening now. Be very specific as to the words that you speak. What did I write? The power of your words plus quantum leaps equals destiny. So we know that we live in a third dimensional matrix that's created by our thoughts, words, actions, and intentions. Sometimes we get a little bit, we can identify as our human body or human avatar and forget that we're the director and not the actor. So I feel as though with these two inner planets, personal planets, retrograde, they've been dancing together. They conjuncted on, when was it? The 11th of March, together at 8 degrees of Aries. That's when they really connected. As far as I can see, as far as what I've looked at right now, they're not conjuncting in the container of what I'm talking about today. So definitely look where 8 degrees of Aries is. This area of your chart from 10 degrees Aries to 24 degrees Pisces. I mean, we've literally been talking about this area of our chart since December 2024. We've been talking about it for a little while. So I'm excited that we've been preparing for this time. I'm excited that we are empowering ourselves with this information. And I really want to see what comes through. The only dates that I'm going to be talking about in this video today, we're going to put down the 15th of March, which is when Mercury goes retrograde. And then we're going to talk about the 7th of April when Mercury goes direct. Sorry, I forgot that. There's another, I'm just going to say it here, but I don't think I might not remember to put it down. But the 12th of April is when Venus goes direct. From the 12th of April until the 4th of May, all planets are direct. The 4th of May is when Pluto goes retrograde in Aquarius, and then the rest of the year we have at least one planet that's retrograde. So that's our all systems go kind of a time, but also it's like life might just really move forward. And we're really looking at, if things feel slow, enjoy it, because when things are fast, we don't always have times to slow down. Really, when Mercury goes direct on the 7th of April, she's not going to go retrograde again until July 18th. So we have times that from April to July, Mercury just kind of just does its thing. And so right now, if we're being asked to slow down, slow down. If the planets are saying, look inward, rewrite our story. This is the perfect time to do extra meditation practices, start listening to hypnosis tapes, talk to a coach, a guide, a healer, a shaman, have your chart read. These are perfect times. If you're running a team, this is a perfect time to bring someone in to do team building exercises. This is a perfect time to really nourish your relationship with your partner if you're in a partnership. This is the perfect time to end relationships if that's what you've been waiting for, if that's what you've been deciding to do. And like really, this is the time to rework the stuff at home, the stuff at home. So I think that's my introduction. I think that's what we got. So now what I'm going to do, I have a disclaimer for all of my content, for all of my readings, and it's always listed in the description below, which is this is not a personalized reading. We are transcending time and space. This is my multidimensional cafe. It's really just you and I having coffee, tea, some water, and we're talking about astrology. It's like you know more about multidimensionality than you think you do, because when are you and where are you? Yet it's just you and I connecting. So I'm so grateful for YouTube for offering that space for us. This is not a personalized reading. Please do your own research on anything that I say. If it feels like it resonates, this is for you. If it does not resonate, it's not for you. None of what I say is doctrine. Please do your own research on every single thing. My interpretation of these planets is going to be infinitely different from every single other interpretation that every single other astrologer across all of time and space is going to offer to you. The second part of my disclaimer is that because I only have about 5 minutes of your time, I'm going to give you the most accessible information. But if this is your first time here, sometimes my readings can be perceived as intense or hard-hitting. I don't know you well enough I would never lie to you. I don't know how to lie. And it's just, if I only have a few minutes of your time and there's a more intense quote unquote message that needs to come through, I'm going to offer it to you. Because since we are the only ones here, it's the theory of the egg. A lot of the times we are the problem. Most of the times we're the problem. Or most of the times we're the one that has to change for anything in our life to change. Actually, every single time we're the only one that has to change for anything in our life to change. So cool. Let's introduce the planets on the board. And I don't know if I'm going to put every single one down. I have no idea how this is going to come through, but I'm going to introduce them anyways. So this represents the sun and the moon. Mercury, our star. Venus, we've talked about. Mars. Jupiter, I've introduced. Saturn. I do think I want another one again that has the full tower, but I don't know. I kept it, but I don't want to glue it back on. No, I want. Where is it? Uranus. Neptune. Pluto. Well, that's really one of my favorites. Black Moon Lilith. And I follow the mean Lilith and the mean North Node and South Node, not the true. So those aspects might be different. This is Chiron. And the North Node and the South Node, which I placed down like this. So you can see what the North Node is going into and what the South Node is releasing. I think that's it. I think we're ready. I think we're ready. All right, let's get started. Aries, and please watch for your rising sign first, and then your sun sign, and then your moon sign. Always watch for your rising sign first to get the exactitude of where this is transiting. Your sun sign and your moon sign is to get a little bit of the vibration as to what's coming through. But for the chart itself, watch the rising sign and find out where this container is really happening in your chart. 9 degrees of Aries to 26 degrees of Pisces. Where does that fall in your chart? What planets are being aspected? What houses? That's where you look. And my astrological starter kit, that's a great place. The link is in the description. In my academy, that's a great place to start. I'll make sure to put that right. It's a great place to start, and to add some tools, videos with me to integrate into your toolbox as you get to know astrology and read your own chart. So, okay, now we're ready. Aries rising. Aries sun, Aries moon. Okay, I love you very much. We're coming in hot. The guides are literally like, keep your mouth shut. Keep it shut. You're right, but your execution will make you wrong. So just quiet. Cry it out into the woods, cry it out into a movie, cry it out. Oh. This is a lot, honey. This is a lot. You might be feeling like it does have a lot to do with ego, but it's very, very interesting. Yeah, early degree, and I'll write down all of the different aspects that are really happening. Like on the 24th of March, the sun is going to conjunct Mercury at 4 degrees of Aries. So the beginning of Aries, and this is really, like, this is intense. Dude, this is really intense for you. This is the beginning of you're paradigm hopping. And I would pray and talk to God more than you talk to another human being. Truly. A very wise woman that I know. She had a call to God moment last year, and she was in the midst of a big transition, and everyone was okay, but she got in a car accident. And it was her call to God moment. And she literally wrote this big manifesto on it. It was I was crying reading it. And she's like, every single time from now on, everything that I used to call up a gal friend and be like, what do I do about this? What do you think about this? She's like, I just took it to God. I literally got on my knees and I prayed every single day. God, how can I be the vessel? God, what is it that I'm supposed to do here? How am I supposed, this could be a perfect moment. And a lot of you right now might be in hermit mode, whether you like it or not. This is big stuff, Aries. This is big stuff. This is incredibly big stuff. If, really, the way you navigate this month, I mean, your birthday's coming up for Aries suns. This might feel so intense, more than you've ever experienced. Your dreams might be popping off. Everything that is happening is on purpose. Literally is on purpose. Oh my God. I'm trying to think as to how I want to do this, because it's the new moon eclipse, and I will have an entire video on that, so I'm not going to talk so much about it right now, but that is when Mercury retrogrades back in like the same day of the new moon eclipse. Mercury retrogrades back into Pisces and conjuncts Neptune. This is potent. This is really potent for you. Yeah, this is a big quantum leap, and it feels really uncomfortable because it's bigger than you've ever experienced before because of the conversations that you're having. Like you're doing some real mindset shifts over here. Full body chill. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, Aries. I am just like stemming for you right now. I'm so excited. Instead of convincing the people around you to try to see you, you're just like being yourself. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I am so excited. I am so excited. I am also just recognizing something right now. Okay, we're gonna put on the 7th of April, which is when Mercury's gonna go direct, Venus will still be retrograde, Neptune will be in Aries, the sun will be at 17. I'm just realizing that the moon on the 7th of April is going to be at Leo at 16 degrees. I just like literally like this is just me and like my hermit hobbit den, and I'm just like loving every little aspect of this, and my tism is just like on display. So my apologies. I'm not sorry, but it's like this is why I love reading charts, and this is why I just love doing this. Okay, I'm so sorry. So the second that Mercury goes retrograde, or Mercury goes direct, this is at 26 degrees, will be conjunct not by the second, but by degree, the north node, 26 degrees. The moon at that moment will be in Leo at 16 degrees. The next Mercury retrograde in July is at 18 degrees of Leo. I love following the planets. This is so beautiful. Beautiful. I think, yeah. Oh my goodness. During this Mercury retrograde, Neptune's going to go into Aries and Lilith is going to go into your house of shared possessions. So you best be practicing whatever it is that you are doing. I want sets and reps of it. I want you like practicing your poems, dressing the part, like your TED talk, whatever it is that you are like doing, your pitch, your elevator pitch. What do you mean by that, Sarah? It's like when you meet the person in your life that's like, hey, what's your compelling vision? I want to invest in you. I really like you. Like have your bit done, Aries. I want you practicing. I want you practicing. I just want you like in your Rocky montage for this time. Like this is your destiny. This is your destiny. I'm hearing some of you be like, I am exhausted. I don't have anything that I'm practicing. I'm just experiencing like heartbreak and breakup and, family traumas and issues and all of this stuff. Then I want you resting and looking into some hypnosis tapes. Like while you sleep, reprogram your brain. You literally don't have to do anything but put on a tape while you sleep. That's it. And have it on every single night until your paradigm shifts. And it will shift. Great job, Aries. Call me if you need anything. Taurus rising. Taurus sun, Taurus moon. This is like slingshot energy. Something's looking for you, but if you're hiding from it, the world can't see you. If you're hiding from it, the world can't see you. And if you're I would also recommend some hypnosis tapes or, doing some actual, like, get your chart read, call in a coach, get massage. There's something going on that you don't have to handle on your own, and you just have to really get it out. and really get it out, get to the bottom of it. You know, you could do some like free writing, free scripting, free, like where you ask yourself a question in a journal and then you put a timer on for 60 seconds and then you don't stop writing until that 60 seconds is over. I'd say like between 1 to 5 minutes. I'd really start to, because it gets to the unconscious and the subconscious within your body, and write it out, because this is transiting your houses of healing, closures, and coming home, as well as your houses of community, friendships, and wishes for the future. You're the moon at the time that Mercury goes retrograde is in your house of daily life and practical service. The moon, when it goes direct, is going to be in your house of home and safety. I would say really looking to, it's funny, I wanted to say look to your Aries, but look to your elders. Like the fact that for you, your 12th house is run by Aries, there's definitely a lot of you that are, you know, old souls or whatever name you have for that. It's not your first time on planet Earth, but knowing that you can be in the trees, you can talk to an ancient, talk to a grandmother, talk to someone who's, ooh, this could be full body chill, full body chill. You writing a letter to your 88-year-old self. You know, it's something that the Alex Hormozy, he talks about a bunch. He's like, I talk to my older self and I base a lot of my decisions off of that person and nobody else, like literally nobody else. Because, you know, this is going to retrograde. This is the 7th of April. You're going to be over here. 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 Yeah, some of you could want to move permanently. Yeah, some of you might be wanting to move permanently. I see that. I see that coming. Or like your forever for now home, whatever that, you know, looks like. You know, the next Mercury retrograde will be in your house of home, and, you know, Pluto is in your house of legacy. You'll have that Mars-Pluto opposition. Like, this is just... And a lot of you are going in a sense... Whatever sober means for you, there's a lot that it's not like full sobriety that I'm seeing, Taurus. It's you're just like, I can't be stoned every day and study my doctorate. I can't, you know, be going out with my friends every single night and think that I'm saving money for, you know, my mortgage. Like there's something that you just can't do every day, that you're really recognizing that the community that maybe you felt safe and a part of. I would go watch the Aries video, even if you don't have Aries placements, just to kind of get a little bit of like, because they're in hermit mode right now. Like they're in a rocky montage and they are doing it. So I would instead like look to the cardinal fire instead of the fixed earth that is Taurus. Like look to, we all have every single sign in our chart. So we can all utilize and harness every single energy. So it's not like just, you can definitely utilize your personal Aries energy, but I feel as though maybe getting a little bit inspiration from that video to be like, oh, I'm not the only person on this planet who's, you know, in what I'm in, you know? Put that over there. Great stuff. Gemini. You're run by Mercury, so this is going to be a really interesting time for you. Oh my God. This is kind of funny. I mean, funny is a strong word, but like for me, funny, because it's like, you're like, what I heard is I've been meaning to remove these people from my life, but I've been waiting for this time to do it because I'm following the astrology. How Virgo of you. That was so beautiful. I love that. I just love that. I absolutely love the way you do things. And I love, like, if you have ever in your life discredited how sharp Gemini is, like, yeah, Do not mess around with a Gemini. They know way more than you. They're 500 steps ahead of you. It's, yeah, just don't even think that you can come for a Gemini. So I love this for you. This could be that you're really quantum jumping. You're ready to make some really big leaps. You're aware of your words. You're definitely, yeah, you've been kind of making moves in silence, which is really interesting. Whether it be by your design or the universe kind of like threw a curveball at you and you were like, actually, I am not left-handed. Like very... Please, I know you know the movie. Name that movie. Please name the movie. I really am excited about this for you. And it's interesting because I know the Geminis that I've known, Sun, Moon, and Risings, they have a lot of different friend groups and really know how to not like a mesh, like not amalgamize to like, oh, I'm only doing what I know that they need. I'm only saying what I know that they need. You're always yourself, which I really love. But right now it's like you're recognizing like that there's like a bit of taste in your mouth. There's like a real negative taste in your mouth when you spend time in a specific friend group and you're just like, yeah, no, thanks, I'm done. Like no judgment, whether it's like the type of thing that you're like, I know if I don't call you that you're not going to call me, so I don't need to call you, and it'll just be like a very nice, casual, beautiful ending to that relationship. But this is very much attached to your destiny, very much like definitely watch the introduction to this if you have not already. Like this is really beautiful energy. I mean, we're going to have like, definitely the dates are below, but on the 20th, I think it happens twice, definitely, but Mercury sextiles to Pluto. Did I write it down? It's in March is one of them, and then I didn't write it down, sorry. Oh wait, I did. Yes, the 25th of March, Mercury will sextile Pluto, as well as on the 20th of April, Mercury will sextile Pluto. So like this is at the very top of your chart, Gem. So there's big public things that you're here to do. I mean, writing, content creation, like I just see a lot of Geminis, Gemini moon especially, like exploding, doing something like real positive things. I mean, the moon over here in your house of communication. Your house of communication is run by Leo. Jeez. That's like having a Leo midheaven. You got something to say. You got something to do. But yeah, definitely, again, I just keep hearing like, look to your elders. And for a lot of you, don't do what they did. Very interesting. My video Reverence for the Villain, I think that's in either the toolbox or I have a few playlists that could be helpful, but my video Reverence for the Villain, because sometimes, you come into a family and you're the brightest light and you're like, I can never do what they did. And that's learning from an elder. So that's a big lesson, and it's a sharp lesson, and it's a painful lesson, but it's a quick one. So amazing Gem. Very proud of you. Cancer rising. Cancer sun, Cancer moon. Very interesting energy that's coming through. I'm gonna let it come through. Interesting. Okay. So I just heard like you were talking about Mars at first, and it was like, make it stop. And then you were like, make it stop, 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 make it stop. And then I was like, what's going on here? And then I zoomed out a little bit, and you were like getting a piercing or a tattoo, or, you know, pardon, you know, if this is your first time here, sometimes sensual sexual things come through where you were like acting out a scene, and you had safety words and everything was safe and fine and comfortable, all was well, but you were like, there's a lot of intensity that's happening right now. Moral of the story is there's a lot of intensity that's happening right now, and you're finding healthy ways to express anger, healthy ways to express like BDSM is a really, like, can be very healthy. There's many healthy things that you can do there, or just like healthy expressions. Like, I love to deadlift. It's a beautiful way to tucker out your inner teenager, because there's a weight on this planet. My ear is ringing. Exercise could be really healthy and helpful for a lot of you. There's a weight on this planet that I can't pick up. And so that tuckers myself out. It's good for my body, proper form. It's good for my inner teenager. Maybe you pick up an exercise regime, something like that. This could be a really wonderful time to recognize that there's a little bit of energy of like unconscious or subconscious self-sabotage of your biggest dream, your biggest desire. Definitely go check out my website, my blogs. There's a get to know one shadow self. There's that could be really helpful. There's a whole like exercise in that blog that could be very helpful, where it's, you know, about scripting, and it's about free scripting, like I said in the introduction. Write a shadow question. Why don't I think that I'm worthy of, you know, a successful business, a prosperous, you know, being a content creator, whatever it is, why don't I think that I'm worthy of that? And just see what comes through. Oh my God, Lilith going into your house of play. Yeah. Because this is attached to your money. Yeah, what I've just put down is the 7th of April when Mercury goes direct, and that will be at 26 degrees. That's going to be conjunct the North Node. This is very powerful. The last time Mercury conjunct the North Node was at 28 degrees and Neptune was in the mix. So there's a stage, there's a thing, you're a leader, you're a cardinal water energy. So I love the fact that you're finding healthy ways in your private life to express your frustration, anger, aggression, getting to know your inner teenager, getting to know your shadow self, your not self themes. Like, you're not popping off. You're doing a great job. I would really just look to, solely based on the fact like that the next Mercury retrograde is going to be in your house of money. That's not coming up until July, but it stays in the sign of Leo. Yeah, it's not more money, more problems. Like, really look at what your subconscious and unconscious programming is around infinite wealth. Whether it's like the root of all evil is, or more money, more problems, or, you know, how did your parents talk about money? I'd really, like, you're allowed to have a really lovely, cozy, bougie, comfortable life. Yeah, what about more money, more safety, more money, more joy, more money, more experiences, more money, more adventure, more money, more, you know, days that you can spend reading your book on the couch with your cat. Like, there's so much, that was bothering me. There's so much that you can do in a positive way when really lovely, wonderful, positive people have good paper. Like, the world would be a better place. Oh, buddy, no. There we go. The world would be a much better place if I don't even like using the term spiritual, but kind, enlightened, empowered people had good money. That's you. You deserve it. You deserve it. Do lots of brainstormings. What's a program that you could talk about effortlessly? Something you already know. You could talk about it for the rest of your life. Make a program. Call me if I can help. You can do this. I believe in you, Cancer. I'm talking directly to you. I believe in you. This is unconscious, subconscious stuff that you can really rewire. Hypnosis tapes. Look, I'm done. Call me if I can help. I love you. Leo rising, Leo sun, Leo moon. There's like, I wanted to sing like, don't worry about a thing. But it's coming through as, you can't run from yourself, but every little thing gonna be alright. This is a lot, and so I'll speak from I statements. The guides are really wanting to show a few examples of what's coming through, which is, there are ways that, you know, God will yell at me if I'm not listening to the whispers, which is, you know, I have an overstuffed 2nd and 8th house in my natal chart. So I've been borderline homeless. I've been literally like down and out financially. And that's the only way that I'm like, okay, God, I can't shop it away. I can't sit at a cafe. I can't even buy food. Like, what do you need? What do you need? I'll meditate. I'll do the thing. I'll write poetry. I'll sing. I'll do my exercise. Like, for a lot of people, it's physical. It's, they won't listen to the whispers of their physical issues until it's a big physical issue. A big physical issue. And then they're like, oh my God, I'm just so grateful that I can stand. I'm so grateful that I can breathe through my nose. I'm so grateful that I can do that. For a lot of people, it's relationships. And, you know, you can pretend like you're playing chess or playing poker with the people in your life, but then all of a sudden you're like, that person really, like, the situationship breaks your heart. Or, you know, the person that you thought like, oh, I'll stay with you for a little longer because I like the lifestyle I'm living. And then you're like, oh my God, this is the most painful thing that I've ever experienced in my life. So this is a very interesting access over here. This is, you know, 8th house, shared possessions, deep transformation, sensuality and sexuality. And this is quest, adventure, higher education, and long distance travel over here. I really like this. There's, you know, I myself have been celibate for a very long time. And it's important to find your way of having, you know, like nourishing that side of yourself, even if you are not with a partner. Finding ways to, there's a lot of sensual stuff that's come through. It's not just for you. But finding a way to really nourish that side of yourself. And this could be for people that have gone through traumas, as gentle as like, oh, I'm getting a new, you know, sundress or a new pair of slacks. And I'm, you know, maybe getting a new mascara, or, you know, doing something different for your physical body in a way that just makes you feel sweet and cute and like treating yourself well. I think watching the Venus retrograde and tracking Venus, like that could be a really helpful experience for you, Leo, because I feel like some of you, it's like you lost your roar, or you know, are forgetting that you're the lion, that you're like the king and queen of the entire lion king, like animal kingdom. Remember who you are, Simba. Remember who you are. Like, what's his name? Rafiki? I'm the Rafiki. Like, remember who you are. And so you're not alone. You know, Aries definitely got kicked in the teeth, and they're in a hermit mode. They're in a rocky montage right now. You can go, like, you're not the only fire sign going through it. The next Mercury retrograde is going to be in your sign. So please, like, be very kind to yourself. Be very, very kind to yourself right now, and be in what you're in, but also like really take the Venus retrograde really seriously as well. Like, I feel like, because like I said in the introduction, and if you didn't watch the introduction, go watch the introduction. It is extended and it's bookended. The whole Mercury retrograde is within the brackets and the time of the Venus retrograde. So you can lead with love. You can listen to Venus. You can learn from Venus. You can really have a glow up right now. You could really have an experience of like if you have Libra placements, I mean, wherever Libra is falling in your chart, like Libra's going through an aesthetic shift. A lot of people are going through an aesthetic shift. So really, and please reach out if you'd like to book a free consultation. If, you know, just kind of unpacking a little bit of what you're in could be helpful. But really, yeah, that's a potent axis. That's a potent axis. Like there's no joke over here, Leo. No joke. No joke. So you are a very powerful being, but sometimes when we think that we're running the ship in a way that's mischievous, it's like, don't be Scar. Full body chill, mic drop, done. Love you. Don't be Scar. Wherever you're being Scar in your life, look in the mirror. That's actually funny. It's in my full moon healing and channeling, which is in my membership groups. If you're in, like, there were some music choices that came through, and one of them was Man in the Mirror, and that was like a little, like, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, just look at yourself and make the change. You got this, Leo. I love you. Virgo, honey. Virgo. Virgo, Virgo. You've been doing such good work. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, buddy. Oh, you are having a little bit of an awakening. Having an intense awakening. I wouldn't call it intense, but I would say that oof. Okie dokie. So one thing that I talk about in my Awakened Mastery program, which is, if you can believe it, it's probably happening. And that's, you know, staying the course and kind of keeping blinders on is a really wonderful way to not get overwhelmed. I have a whole video on where we can get stuck in our awakening, because if you can believe it, it's probably happening. And there's, you know, highs and lows when you go through an awakening. And what do you mean by an awakening, Sarah? It's just when you recognize that, and if you have Aquarius placements, Aquarius has been experiencing this as well. So definitely you can go back and watch some of the Aquarius videos in the All Signs reading for validation. But you've been doing so much inner work. Like, I'm honoring you, Virgo. Like, you've been getting to know yourself. You've been really, like, understanding. Like, that full moon eclipse was just in your sign yesterday, depending on when you're watching this. Well, this is the setup that I have is the 15th of March when Mercury goes retrograde. And yesterday was the full moon eclipse in your sign. So you have tons of videos and stuff like that. But you've been doing inner work. You've been unpacking a lot and just seeing the world as it is, knowing that you create with your thoughts, words, actions, and intentions, getting to know yourself, getting to know the real you. And, you know, you've been resting when it's time to rest, all these different things. And then you start to see things in your algorithm. And then you start to see, you know, things that just don't make sense. And then you start to question some things in the peripheral. I don't want to even give examples. I don't want to give examples. Whatever's coming up for you, you're just like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. You can. I mean, this is your chart ruler. You can, if you want, go down a rabbit hole. Truly, you can go down a rabbit hole. The first time that I downloaded DuckDuckGo onto my phone, because I don't use Google, I use DuckDuckGo, a non-traceable search engine, and it's, you know, not offering things. It's you know, it's just giving me what it is that I'm searching for. Literally the first thing that I researched was glitching celebrities. So, like, I've been there. I've been where you're standing, where you're like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. But then this doesn't make sense. So you can go down any rabbit hole you so choose, my friend. Any rabbit hole you'd like. If you can believe it, it's real and happening. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's it. So just, if you want to be, it's why I call my program, my Awakened Mastery, a crash course, because if you want to be super efficient with your awakening, you can't really like say, God, this is how long I want it to be, but you can say, I'm not going to get stuck here. I'm not going to get stuck here. I don't need to view things that are that bad. I'm just going to pray for the, you know, or send love to the community that I choose to send love to. That's it. That's it. Because we've lost people at certain areas of the awakening. We've lost people fighting the deep state. We've lost people like in hours of hours, like in the same way that when it comes to like, you know the people that you've lost where you're like, you just want to live in this basement, you just want to sit here and take acid for the rest of your life. You're good here, you're good. And they're like, yeah, I'm good here. Same thing can happen to people where they're like, you're just going to watch podcasts about, you know, like the white hats and all these things, and you're not going to just like change your life. You're just going to let that, you're just going to stay here and watch podcasts about that instead of living and being a light worker on the planet. Like, you can participate if you want. There's still, and I have that whole video. It's like Stay the Course, where you can get stuck in your awakening. It's in either the toolbox or the guidance playlist. Definitely go check that out. I have more offerings, but like, stay the course, 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 stay the course. And it's okay to meet people on the path of your awakening during this time period, Virgo, and to be like, it's nice to meet you. No, I don't want to see you again. Thank you. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. And that's okay. That's okay. Your major arcana card is the Hermit card, so I'm really not concerned about saying like having some hermit time is okay, but don't get sucked in. I'll be here whenever you come back. Like, but just like in the same way, oh my God, full body chill, Virgo. In the same way that there are so many astrologers that are talking about, oh my God, fear this. The last time this happened. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, this. Like, you can have that if you want it. You can have straight anxiety looking at the astrology right now. It's an option. Or we can go inward and utilize it and take some time for ourselves and watch, you know, really cute videos with clinking music and be gentle with ourselves. That's also an option. You can do either one. You can do either one. I love you. Call me if I can help. Libra. How are you doing? Libra rising, Libra sun, Libra moon. Oh no, what am I doing? You are so incredible. I hope you know that. I hope you just, I just literally hope you know how incredible you are. And that if anybody is not treating you the way that you deserve to be treated, it's okay to say that. It's okay to say that. Oof, this is boundaries. This is not boundaries. This is you standing up for yourself right now. Something's going on. It looks like it's at work. It looks like it's in a work environment. Important people that you see in your day-to-day. This could be people that you live with as well, but you know, because it just has a feeling that it's more work related, where it could be 3D job related. This could be, you know, getting lost in the comment section. This is very, very interesting, just because, you know, when Aries for you is the descendant sign, but because it's like it's like the whole chart is flipped, that the descendant side is normally run by Libra, the rising sign is normally run by Aries. So it's like when the sun is in the house of the ego, for you it's in the relationships. So sometimes the energy of the scales, because it's so attached to the Aries, where it's like there can be, whether you start to identify a little bit with like the corporate team that you work with. It could be the restaurant team that you work with, some of the people that you live around. There's such a sense of self in that space. And when you recognize that, like, it's a joke, but it's not really a funny joke, where it's like, yeah, if we died today, our job would, you know, already has a backup. You'll be replaced by Monday, full on, in every single job, in every position. We're completely replaceable in every single job. Because we're not God. We don't have to run things. The world will continue to world in every way. This is going to be an opportunity for you really standing up for yourself about something. And really, it's not in a way that you're like, I'm just listening to the guides. It's like there's been this obsessive feeling about, and this isn't going to be for everyone, but I'm just having like a full reaction to this, where there's someone that like you, I'm just going to dramatize this, where there's someone that you work with and you're like, you've been talking about them and you've just been like, oh, I feel like this person has like narcissistic tendencies. And, you know, when it comes to narcissistic people, you know, you can't, you know, if only they just did this, and they're so rude with this, and they're so rude with this, and if they just did this, and if they just did this, if they just did this, and every time they talk to you, you just feel like crap, and you're just being told like all of these things, like it's like attached to your legacy, it's attached to your images, and like literally I want you to glitch the matrix. And you can, if this is, and any time when I was in leadership, when I was in corporate, have an accountability buddy, call a meeting, have somebody in the room with you. Don't have to have a one-on-one with that person. Have a specific moment, have it be that day where, you know, at the end of the shift or in the middle of the day, whenever, like right after, say, today when you said this in front of everyone, that was inappropriate. And I do not want to be spoken to that way. If you have a problem with the way that I'm doing things, let's call a private meeting and let's do this in private. But that was inappropriate. I'm in front of my contemporaries and that was absolutely out of line and I will not be spoken to that way. Whatever version of that, you know what I mean? And have someone there with you so it's not that he said, she said stuff. It's not like, oh, you overreacted, or oh, I really meant this. It's like, no, and stand your ground. And stand your ground, Libra. Something's happening. Something's happening. Because if you're spending, if you've decided that this is the job that you're going to be in, this could also be a perfect opportunity with the Mercury retrograde. Oh, I totally forgot to do this. Pardon me. This could be a perfect opportunity during this Mercury retrograde that maybe you're just like, I'm snapping and I'm out and I'm going to leave this job and I'm not going to do it anymore. That's an option. You can totally do that as well. You know, Lilith going into your house of money, and then it's just like the next time you communicate, you're just like, I'm leaving. You can use this opportunity to job hunt. And we don't make big deals and we don't sign big contracts during Mercury retrograde, but you can have that trial shift. You can try it out. You can go through interviews. You can decide. This is the 7th of April, so it's not that long of a time. It's a few weeks. But really, like, that's okay. But this is happening in your descendant sign. It could very well be that, you know, if you have Gemini placements as well, that, you know, the community around you is going to dictate your future in a little bit of a way, solely based on like what I had said at the beginning, where it could very well be just because of that Aries energy over here. It's built into the chart. So when we have things that are built into the chart, we don't just lay down and say, I don't know how to tie my shoes, I'm never going to learn. We say, okay, let's do something about it. Are these the people that I want to be surrounded by? Are these the people that fill me up? Am I just spending my time thinking about, oh, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this, if only that person could do this. Like, if you're not the leader of the pack, Libra, and you're thinking on your off time about how to better the team, then maybe look for a job where you are the leader of the pack, or start to do something where you, like, the camera that I'm using is my telephone, dude. So we can use our telephone for whatever it is that we want. But you are just such a vibe. You're so beautiful and wondrous and like incredible and talented and like infectious and lovely and be like every bit of it. So if you are not being praised like that on a regular basis, wherever you go to make your paper, know that it is an option. Know that it exists on this planet, Libra, and deciding whether or not you're worthy of that can be something that you think about during this Mercury retrograde. I can't tell you your worth. I can see it, but I can't be codependent with you and be like, oh, no, you see it. And then you'd be like, oh, no, I'm not. But you have to see it in yourself. I really am proud of you. This is deep stuff you're experiencing right now. Beautiful. Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon, How are you feeling today? The phrase that's coming to my mind is like, it feels, what I'm hearing is like, it feels like you keep, like you talking to me, you keep kicking the can, you know, kicking the goalpost, or like the goalpost keeps going farther, where it's like, I love this, where you're like, you know, I'm leveling up, and then when I get to the next reading, you tell me that I have more to go, or that it's coming, or that it's this. This phrase that I heard once really resonated with me, and I want to offer it to you. Maybe you don't feel like you're growing as much is because you keep leveling up your personal expectations. You keep adding more zeros to what it is that you want to manifest. You keep doing all these things where you're like, I thought I wanted to have 10K months, but I want to have 100K months. I thought I wanted this, but I want my first million, and then I want my first 10 million. I thought I wanted one house, I want two houses. I thought I wanted this, I want this. So it ain't me, babe. You're just keep leveling up in your sleep. So I'm going to drink a little tea on that one because it's so good of you. Oh my God. What's his name? Hardy. Something Hardy. He's like the Instagram, TikTok, like most eligible bachelor right now. And he talks about like going to, like, ladies go to Home Depot, and like it talks about like healthy relationships, healthy masculinity, and it's just cheeky. It's just absolutely hysterical. But for some reason, Home Depot is a place to go for a lot of you, whether you're masculine or feminine. Like, go, yeah, for masculine, like buy something to tinker at your house and go like find your wife, and ladies, just go putz around and just be available. There's a lot of people that are here, you know, aren't drinking or smoking, and you're just like, where am I supposed to go? Because when I'm at the gym, I'm in my zone, and I'm obviously not going to poop where I eat, and I'm not going to date anybody from my gym. So like, what am I supposed to do? You know, going for walks, going into the woods, taking yourself out. Like, it's very, very beautiful what's happening right here. Like, there's a lot of leveling up. There's a lot of quantum leveling up that's going on. If you've been, you know, if you have Aries placements, definitely you've like full body chill. You've been in an intense hermit space and time. And so I'm here for that. I'm really here for that. This is daily life, health, practical service, and we're going to be retrograding back into Neptune, going into Aries for you. I'm jazzed about. That's like things popping in a beautiful way. You're like, Sarah, you've said that so many times, and I'm going to keep saying it again, because Mercury goes direct. When the moon's in your house of legacy, the next Mercury retrograde is going to be in your house of legacy. So, like, I can't make this up. You know, it's just blame the astrology. Utilize it or unsubscribe, whichever one you want. But all I'm saying is, like, you are allowed to then stop processing so deeply. If you want to reach those, like, miniature goals, then set miniature goals. Or, wait. This is beautiful. Have your to-do list. Have your list of goals, put something on the vision board that's so effortless that you're just like, oh my God, of course. I'd like, have it be like, I find a random $20 bill on the ground. Something that's so like, oh my God, yeah, of course I could do that. Like, literally, I put a picture of a kitten on my vision board, and within a week, Sybil was mine. So put something that's effortless onto there so that you can have that effortlessness, and so you just check something off. Because you keep leveling up before you hit that marker for good reason. I'm not telling you to change that, but put a few more accessible, so that way when you get to it, so you can do a little bit more celebration. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The new moon eclipse is going to be in Aries, in your house of daily life, health, and practical service. So I really, because you're making such quantum leaps, this is, laws of the universe type stuff. I want you to shrink down the big quantum leaps. If we label something, it's the universal law of comparison. If I say this is so much bigger than this, or this is big, it's because I'm comparing it to this, I'm comparing it to this. But if I'm comparing it to like a massive crystal, then it's teeny tiny. So stop comparing. Stop saying, oh, my goals are so big. Say, my goals are all the same and I can effortlessly accomplish this. I can effortlessly do this. The angels and universe and God, really, it could be $1, it could be $1 billion, it could be $1 million. It's all the same to them. It's all energy and it's only meant for you. But you have to decide, yeah, I want some more easily achievable goals that you check off so you can spend a little bit more time completing cycles and celebrating them, Scorpio. You're so much fun to read for. I love it. I just love it. I just love it because you're just full on. You're just like leveling up when you sleep. You're doing all the right things. You're leveling up your content. You're just, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. All right. I think that's it. Beautiful. Sagittarius. Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius rising especially. What? Hold on one second. I gotta let Sybil in. Hey, darling. Hey. Hey, honey. Hey. You know, it's funny. It usually happens. Like, she's a Libra rising, Aquarius moon, Scorpio sun. So whenever I start to read for her signs, she's like, let me in, let me in. Pardon me. Pardon me. All right. This is really practical. I think this reading is going to be very practical, Sag. The world is looking for what you have to offer, but you have to offer it. Like if you've had an idea for a long time about doing something or creating a program, I want this to be something that you can effortlessly talk about. The beginning of, it was a Joe Rogan podcast with like Wesley Huff, I think it was. It was the guy that had debated Billy Carson. This was a few months ago now, I want to say. It was a big hullabaloo. And what Joe had said at the beginning, it's in the first 5 minutes, so you can definitely go watch it. It was just eloquent, where he's like, you can wake me up out of a dead sleep and say, and shake me awake, and you ask me about MMA, you ask me about exercise, you ask me about comedy, and I can splash some water in my face, but I'll be able to go. That's my mastery. That's my specialty. I can just talk about that. There's something that you have to offer, Sag, that you're not putting together, or that there's a little bit of hesitation. I want whatever's coming through for you as I'm talking about this. This is play, joy, creativity, childlike spirits, romance, kiddos, inner child, going into the house of home. This could be, you love home renovation. This could be, I want to make a program. This could be, I want to be an artist. I want to, have a group. I want to do something with exercise, whatever it may be, And you've talked about it for ages. Just take some action steps. And this doesn't have to be like, I have to go have a session, I need a coach, I need this. Like, you're done educating yourself. Like, this is something very specific. It doesn't have to even be whatever it is that you do for your money. This is something like, this is way more practical than you usually are, which I'm jazzed about. But, oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. There's a little bit of flashbacks that's happening right now with the intensity of Pluto's in Aquarius. Pluto's never going to go back into your house of money again. So whatever level of like financial issues you had from 2028 until, no, 2028, geez, 2008 to 2024, whatever issues that you had financially could never possibly happen again because that transit is over. It's over. But there's a little bit of, and you know, Capricorn last for the full moon eclipse video, there's a little bit of a flashback for them as well, where it's like the energy is so potent and powerful and intense. But I really would love for you to spend some time, like it's like you're Sag. There's a little bit too much practicality where people just like spending time with you because you're a Sag. This could be like whatever industry that you're in is, I'm trying to make this really practical for you. Whatever industry you're in, maybe it feels a little bit slow. Put together a meet and greet or put together, like offer something in a way that it's not free, but do like, I'm doing a donation base or I'm doing a fundraiser, you know. Oh my God, full body chills. We're just like, I'm doing a fundraiser, you know, this is what I love doing and what I hope to do one day. And, you know, I just want to offer it to people to see who shows up, and you'll be so shocked to see who shows up. But yeah, like have a little gathering, and I'd say charge money for it, make it donation based. You know, when I do, you know, tarot parties or tarot gatherings, and it's just really like whatever you slide across the table is how much it is, and I'm going to read 3 cards. We're going to make it pretty snappy, but you know, if it's a 20, amazing. If it's a $5 bill, amazing. I've had people pay me in food before. I've had people bring me honey, make me candles, like all different things. But I feel like you need a little bit of an ego booster right now, Sag. Interesting. But you're being a little bit too practical. I want you to step a little bit more into your woo, or, you know, this is a good time. And it's a practice that I talked about in my Awakened Mastery course, which is doing a life review, where you ask someone that you respect and love in your life to judge you. And someone that and really be particular with the person that you allow to judge you. If you wouldn't trade lives with that person, then obviously don't ask them to judge you, because they're going to, you know, have their own projections onto you. Usually it could be, you know, a mentor, someone that not somebody that you're paying money for. If you have a mentor that's like in your daily life, ask them. I don't want this to be a family member. I want it to be a friend or a colleague. And just say, hey, could you just like judge me? How do you think I'm doing well? Where could you think that I'm not doing so well? And tell them to be honest with you. Tell them what you're doing. Say like, I'm really like looking at myself and trying to up level, and just see what they say, and say, there's nothing that you could say that I will take as like this is a safe space. Like, let them know that it's a safe space to really judge you, and tell them like, I'm trying to develop myself. And you'd be surprised, they might ask you to do the same. But really like invite in a buddy, an accountability buddy, to help you see you clearly. It's like, you know, Simon Sinek's Find Your Why. You have to do that in a group, because it's harder to find your own why than it is to have someone mirror it to you, you know, stuff like that. But I would really say a friend, a colleague, a companion, not your partner, not a parent or a sibling, but like someone that is a little bit like not going to boost your ego unnecessarily, but is going to tell you what's what. You know what I mean? If you have any questions, just send me an email. We can chit chat. Love you. Really integrate the Sag. Be practical, but be like, woo woo. It's you. You're run by Jupiter. You got this. Capricorn. Capricorn rising, Capricorn sun, Capricorn moon. I love you. Some of you watch the whole video, and that's so sweet. That's just so sweet. I'm so grateful for you. Or maybe you just have Sag placements and you're watching that, but I just heard someone be like, that was good. That was really good. You really hit the nail on the head with that one. That's almost over. I'm so excited about that for you. We'll have a whole video on Lilith and Scorpio, so we'll talk later about that. Whew. I'm listening to the guides because this is beautiful. You've been getting very specific and powerful downloads right now, and you are listening to them so beautifully. Like, yeah, dude, this is amazing. You know that you're not, like, some of you are really recognizing your self-worth, and you're recognizing that you have a bigger thing to do. Whew, buddy. I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Capricorn risings, if you have been waiting for a relationship for a longer period of time, I would say when Jupiter goes into Cancer later on this year, that relationships could be blossoming for you, especially when Uranus is still in Taurus. Like, I'd be excited to hear about that. Just to complete aside, pardon me. And they might have way more money than you could have ever thought. This could be a huge level up for you as far as like the family that you grew up in, but it's also like you're leveling up. I feel like you're a generational curse breaker and I say that for lack of a better term, like a financial generational curse breaker. Aquarius runs your house of money. I'd say definitely for Capricorn rising, like millennials, Gen Xers, Gen Zers. Yeah. Dang. This is pretty exciting. I know I'm just all over the place, but it's like this Mercury retrograde and this Venus retrograde is just at the base of the root of your chart, the roots of your tree of your life, the cultural family roots, where I feel safe. There might be some physical anxiety that's coming up right now, some physical, like you wake up and you're like, oh my God, am I putting like my body back into my skin? Where did I go last night? Ground. Like, just keep grounding. And yeah, it's just like you're being lifted. You're being transported to certain areas that you're meant to be in, and listen to the messages that you are getting right now, whether it be like it's so clear. It feels as though the messages that you're getting from source, God, spirit, is so clear. This is April 7th when Mercury goes direct, that you're just listening and you're like, okay, I'm going to do my research. I'm not going to take that. It's like you're not taking your downloads as doctrine. You're trying them on. Full body chill. This is positive and negative. I just want to make sure that you're not projecting your fears onto it. Like, if you have any Sag placements, definitely go watch the Sag video. I mean, a lot of you did. But really, like, look at your mindset. Okay, so say, for example, you get like you're trying to move and you've been too broad about where you're going to move. So you're like, okay, I just got this download to go check out this area. Instead of being like, oh my God, that's the area. Oh, I can see where it is. Okay. Because you've listened to God before in the past and it has led you down either a cul-de-sac or into a trauma that you did not like. That's the human body saying that wasn't a good experience, but think of what you learned, Dorothy. Think of how much more powerful you are now because of that experience. So now that God's trying to give you like, no, it's good. We're like, I don't want another karmic contract. I don't want to do it again. Where it's like, no, it's good now. It's good. You can enjoy it. It's good, but you're being timid, which is fine. It's a retrograde. Continue to be timid. That's so fine. That's so fine. I mean, Neptune and Saturn going into Aries at the bottom of your chart. Like, take your time, my guy, my gal. Take your time, but just don't slough off your downloads. Don't slough them off. Like, ever. You do have bigger things to do than maybe you've done before, and I just don't want you to purposefully like miss the boat, but in the way where like that parable of the story of, and I don't know if it was you that I said this to the last time. If it is, that'd be hysterical, where it's like, you know, the man's drowning and he's like, God, help me. God, save me. God, save me. God, save me. God, save me. And so a boat passes by and they're like, get on board. And the guy's like, no, God's going to save me. And then he's like, God, save me. 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 And then another boat passes by. And the guy's like, I'm good. God's on his way. And then he dies, and he gets up to heaven. He's like, God, what WTF? And he's like, I sent you 2 boats. So your downloads are coming in very clearly, Cap. So lean on that, but don't let your past experiences dictate how you move forward. Full body chill. I love you. Aquarius. Aquarius. Aquarius, sun, moon rising, how you doing? For this retrograde, what's coming up? This is so exciting for you. Might not be that way, but I promise you, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Okay, this is the power of your words plus quantum leaps equals destiny. So Mercury in the 3rd house, Mercury's happy in the 3rd house because the 3rd house is traditionally run by Gemini. So Mercury retrograde in the 3rd house, I forget who I talked to about this, but if you are not telling people how you feel, you are lying to them. If you are not expressing yourself, you are lying to people. If you're holding it in, like pursing your lips and pursing your tongue. I gave Libra a very practical, there's somebody, I feel like this could be family based. That you need to set some boundaries with a family member. Whether you've been the scapegoat, you've been the punching bag, you've been the therapist, you've been this, and you're like, hey, I can't do this for you anymore. I actually love you, but you need to talk to someone. You can't be everything for everybody. Whereas for Libra, it felt like work, but for you, this does feel like family. And it's like this amalgamation. This isn't for everybody, obviously, but it's like you've become this amalgamation of, I'm the scapegoat, but I'm also the therapist, but they make fun of me, but they're this, but they're that. That's fine, but like literally they can do whatever that they want. You're allowing it. You're allowing it, you know? It's like if you're in a room where everybody's yelling at you all the time, or everyone's making fun of you all the time, I almost fell over off my chair saying that. If you're in a room that people are making fun of you, that people are mocking you, that people are not taking you seriously, if you have Cancer placements as well, that was coming up for Cancer a lot in the past 6 months, like, don't be in that room. Then just don't put yourself in that room anymore. And like, but you're like, Sarah, but I need to make money, but I need to do this, but I need to do this. This could be a perfect opportunity to really do some journaling and say, what are the expectations that I have for the people around me? What are the expectations that I have for my work environment? What are the expectations that I have for myself? This is the 7th of April, and the moon is going to be in Leo at 16 degrees. The moon, the next Mercury retrograde in July is over here in your house of relationships. So I love astrology. We're looking backwards, we're looking forward. We're having retrograde, revisiting things, and we're looking forward to July when the next Mercury retrograde is going to be in your house of relationships. So let's utilize this energy to really, and do dramatizations of, and play out the worst case scenario in the mirror where it's like, okay, I'm telling my family member that I can't be their unpaid therapist anymore. I can't help them anymore. say it in the mirror, and then see what your brain says as like a dramatization. I'll have to, just full disclaimer, do not do mirror work unless you feel so comfy to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, please reach out and I will happily have a free consultation with you to talk about what is best for you. Happily give a free 15-minute consultation to talk about how to do this. But really, because we can dramatize probably a worst case scenario that is nothing close to what it is that will happen, could happen. And we have to love that person enough just to be like, hey, every time you complain to me, I'm not helping you. And you deserve help. You deserve support. You deserve somebody to like really that is qualified to be a therapist or a coach or a healer or somebody, whatever that person that is connecting to you, that's talking to you, believes to be the helpful healer. Like that's, they deserve that. But it becomes this like egoic, still on the candle, this egoic like, I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want to hurt them. Like, but you want to love them, right? You want to cut the codependent tide and let them heal. I think that's important. That's not for everybody, but it's for some of you. So, I love you. Pisces. It only has to feel like a big gulp if you want it to feel like a big gulp. This doesn't have to be dramatic unless you want it to be. This doesn't have to be a big deal unless you want it to be. It's how we face things. There's a lot of changes that are going on for you right now. There's a lot of changes in relationships that are coming up. There's a lot happening here. Like, I see you. I really see you. This is big stuff. This is big, 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 big stuff. And so lots of spiritual awakenings are happening, lots of relationships that are ending right now, and lots of people maybe going to couples counseling, going to therapy, or really unpacking, like, and we talked about this a few months ago, like we rushed into this relationship and now we have, you know, a child or a dog or a house or something together, and now I don't know what to do. Or even like super niche, but like you decided to date someone at your gym and now you don't want to be with that person, but you still have to go to the gym. Like there's such a spectrum of what you're experiencing right now, Pisces. So know that you're not alone. If anything, just know that you're not alone. But this is attached to values, money, values, and access to resources. You know, retrogrades, Mercury retrograde just by itself in the houses of money, or, you know, in the houses of legacy, like for daily life, it just could be that, you know, like papers, like you're just not making as much as you want to or need to. But, you know, money is a value, but you have other values. So like revisit, if money is slow, then, you know, spend some time cooking with your significant other, with yourself. You know, do things instead of going out 5 times a week, go out once a week, or ask yourself, why am I going out 5 nights a week? Why am I, you know, some of you might be dipping into, it's not like, I don't want to say addictive patterns, but unconscious patterns. Some of you are just like a little bit like, oh, whatever. Like your buddies invited you out again. You're like, oh, okay, I guess I can go. And it's like you haven't done that in, you know, 10, 15 years, but you're just like, yeah, I guess I'll just show up. We have to look at ourselves through the lenses of our relationships, and you know that the way that you feel about yourself and the way that you love yourself and the way that you treat yourself is reflected in the people around you. You know, it's okay to have a wild glow up right now, and it's okay to shift so quickly. It's okay to, you know, if you have Libra placements as well, like it's okay to spend this time looking for a new job. You know, we don't sign big contracts for Mercury retrograde, but it's so okay to research another environment, have a trial shift, go on an interview or two. There's nothing negative. You're not locked into anything. But if the environment that you put yourself in, that you allow yourself to be in, is not treating you the way that you want to treat yourself, you are the person that will actively have to walk out of the door or open the energy open the energy, talk to God, talk to spirit, talk to source, and literally just be like, I am ready to change this. I'm ready for radical change. I'm ready for quantum leaps. You have to, it's the law of non-intervention. Your angels can't come in. They can't help you. Nobody can help you unless you ask for help. But you have to acknowledge that there's something afoot, that there's something that needs to shift. You know? The new moon eclipse is in your house of money. Full moon eclipse in your house of relationships, new moon eclipse in your house of money. So they are attached astrologically and in every possible way. Yeah, it's been a trend that I've seen lately. And a lot of the, content, I just have to give a disclaimer before I say this. A lot of the content that I look into is about being in a healthy partnership and researching how to be a healthy partner and researching what does it mean to be a healthy partner, because that's what's important in my life, is that I'm going to be the healthiest version of myself in every relationship that I have, especially in my partnership. So I'm working on myself to become the best version of myself in a partnership. But one of the most important things, because it really amalgamizes with entrepreneurship and leadership growth and development, but one of the most important people that you bring into your life is going to be your partner. They will make or break your whole trajectory, because if they believe in you, you're going to believe in yourself. That's the most important relationship. If they don't believe in you, you're not going to believe in yourself. You're not going to put yourself out there. It's just the basic phrasing of nobody who's doing better than you is going to judge you for, wanting to do all these things. There's a beautiful content creator that I follow on, it's really upsetting that I can't remember her name right now, but it's for the girlies that get it, where, she told her partner, she's engaged right now, I really want to do a podcast. And he just went out and bought all the podcast equipment, the best stuff, and was like, here, do it. Yeah. Your partner, not shoulding you, but you deserve someone to believe in you. You deserve someone that believes in you, that is inspired by you, and that wants to support you in whatever way the dynamic of your relationship works. Oh, wait. Nope, we did it. Pardon me, I've just been straight channeling for a little bit, and I got a little, I think that's all we got. I think that's it. Yeah. What questions do you have for me? Please reach out, Pisces, if I can support. You're not alone. I love you all so much.